Alright, what's up, guys? So, I did kind of talk on this in my last video, but it's something that I've been talking on for a while now, from streams to videos. I probably then did some podcast episodes. If I haven't, I will work on that. I'd probably, I don't think I've done no TikToks talking about it, but I probably will talk about it on TikTok and any other social media platform I can think of. But they need to have it where you can play, instead of like having to go out and buy a PlayStation 1, 2, 3 or whatever. I think they're gonna probably eventually start doing it with the PlayStation 4. And same with Xbox, having it where it's like I ain't got to go out and get me an Xbox or an Xbox 360 just to play some old games. They should have it where those games are compatible on the Xbox Series X or the PlayStation 5. And I know that them games are, because it's like if you guys got all these other games, especially Xbox, PlayStation is kind of weird with their like backwards compatible thing. But no, with Xbox, it's like you guys got OG Xbox, a bunch of Xbox 360 games, and of course a bunch of all of the Xbox One games. I don't know why you won't just have all of it where all those games are compatible, especially if I have the disc for it. So I'm just saying, like, I think that it would be a lot easier, especially if a person where it's like I would hate to have it, because I did recently get, well, not recently, but it was like a while back, I did manage to get my PlayStation 3 from my sister. And then I went out to this retro game store and bought me an Xbox 360. And I would just really hate to be playing on both of these consoles and then both of them go out because they're old. Like the PlayStation 3, it was that very first PlayStation 3 that came out back in 2007. And I know this thing is on its last legs, all right? I'm surprised it's even still working to this day. But it just seemed like it would be easier where it's like, okay, let's just come out with an update, or just have it where a bunch of games are going to be getting added to the backwards compatible thing, or even if it's some device that you plug off up into your, it's like an emulator almost, where it's like you plug it up off in your PlayStation 5 or Xbox, and then it's like, yeah, you just put the game in and then you plug that device up and then you're able to play the games, and it just emulates a PlayStation 1, 2, or 3, or for Xbox it'll emulate a Xbox, the OG Xbox, and the Xbox 360. It just seemed like it would be a lot easier versus, oh, let me go out and find a console and I gotta make sure of it that this console works, and then it's like, okay, I have this console for like a year or however long, and then all of a sudden it stops working. Now I have this broken console and a gang of games that I can't play. And then to me, I'm all like, that just seems like that's is messed up, where it's like, okay, Sony and Microsoft, I know you guys got the money and the resources to have it where there can be a bunch of different games, because I'm saying you got like the OG Need for Speed games, you got NBA Street Volume 2, like there's this, like you got NBA Baller, hold on for a second, Dirt Showdown. Let me think of some other games real quick. Hold on for a second, because I'm like, I got like these games like listed out. I just got this today. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, Jet Li Rise to Honor, the Project Gotham Racing 3 and 4. Test Drive, I'm trying to think, Forza Motorsports 3. This is a game that I was just playing yesterday, and I'm like, man, this game is, I remember playing it when I was a kid, but I was just playing it, yesterday, and I was like, this game is so fun, like, why did I get rid of it the first time I had it? But anyways, Enter the Matrix. I'm saying there's all these different games where it's like, I would love to be able to play these games on a newer console, so I ain't gotta worry. Because so recently, recently I had to get like a gang of different controllers and stuff for my PlayStation 3, and I was able to get a PlayStation 2 controller. Surprisingly, the controller works perfectly fine with the PlayStation 1, 2, and 3 games. But yeah, it's like, okay, but how long will that last? Versus a PlayStation 5 controller where there's a gang of those. You guys are only developing the PlayStation 5s right now, so it just seemed like it would be easier for that gamer rather than go out and be like, oh, okay, now I gotta go out and find me a PlayStation 1. And then you might go across that one store that wants to scam people. Luckily, the one store that I go to, they don't be scamming people and stuff, but it's like, let's say you, like somebody isn't as lucky as I am. You go to a store and they all like, oh, if you want this PlayStation 1 unboxed, never been used, never been touched, it's gonna be $500. And I'm like, fam, I could go out and get me a PlayStation 5 for that much. Like, what sense does that even make? Or even with the Xbox or an Xbox 360 or a PlayStation 2 or 3, and it's like, fam, I ain't trying to spend that much on a console that came out when I was literally a child. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, Sony, Microsoft, just have it where all games are compatible, not just some games, all games. Like PlayStation, have it where it's like all PlayStation 1, 2, 3, and 4 games compatible with the PlayStation 5. Same with Microsoft and Xboxes. Have it where it's like all the OG Xbox games, Xbox 360 games, because it just, to me, it just doesn't even make any sense where it's like you put like this whole like big deal of shutting down the Xbox 360 store, but it's like, okay, rather than like blowing up that news, how about you blow it up that it's like, hey, we're having it where all games are compatible with the new or the Xbox Series X, rather than just some games. And I'm telling you right now, like if they come out with another console, they're all like, oh, the Xbox 2 or the Xbox Series X2, whatever the next console will be, or the PlayStation 6. You have it where it's like those consoles can't even play like all the old retro games. I'm done buying the console games. I'm like, I'm just going to wait out until all the consoles, until you guys do come out with a console that can do that, or just have it where the consoles that we got out now can do that. And it just seemed like it would be a lot easier for people versus like having to go out. Yeah, it might mess up these retro game stores, but I would rather have it where I'm buying the games than buying these expensive consoles and stuff. So it's like, yeah, it's like I go out and buy a $500 PlayStation 2 that's never been touched, unboxed, and it's one of those like nice looking like see-through blue ones or something, but now I ain't got no money to buy me a game. Saying it's just stuff like that. It just doesn't even make any sense to me. I'd rather have it where I'm paying $500 for a bunch of different games and I'm able to play that on a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X. So it just seemed like it would be easier for me. I know if I'm the owner of Sony or Microsoft, that's something that I will work on doing, versus like, oh, let's just have it where it be like 2-3 Xbox games, a few Xbox 360 games, but oh yeah, all the Xbox One and Series X games gonna work perfectly. And some of those games don't even work perfectly fine. You know, it's like you got a lot of those games where they halfway buggy glitchy, versus like one of the classic games where it's like, okay, it's a fully complete working game. I'm like, yeah, I would rather play that than, you know, some of the games. That's another thing where it's like some of the games that are out today, they don't even work properly. They ain't got enough content. So I would rather have it where I'm able to play a game that got all this content than when you guys are ready to release some content for the newer games. I'm like, okay, I'll play those. But it's like a game that I can think of right now right off the jump is the new Forza Motorsport. That game, I was able to beat that game within a short period of time. And I'm going back and I'm playing like, yeah, luckily I was able to buy Forza Motorsport 7 off of, I think it was like G2A.com. But I was luckily to buy that, and then but yeah, I have like all the other old Forza, so I do have like a lot of content right there. But it's like I would love to play Forza Motorsports 3 and 4 on my Xbox Series X, because it's like I don't know how long this Xbox 360 is gonna last. It is that like second or slim one that they came out with. It was like the second to last one that they came out with. But I don't know how long that's gonna last. I'm saying it's a console that's like, I think those Xboxes came out in what 2010. So it's like this console is like 14 years old, and I'm thinking to myself like, fam, how long is this console? How long is a 14-year-old console going? It lasted 14 years, but I'm all like, okay, I don't know if they're going by like 14 like 365 day years, or like some dog years or something where it's like, yeah, it's gonna get older a little bit faster. But it just seemed like to me it's like it'd just be easier like if I'm able to play these games off of an Xbox Series X, because it's like if the 360 goes out, then what am I gonna do? Like there are some games where I am able to play it off of the 360 games on the Xbox Series X, but it's like Forza, really, that's a Microsoft game. That game should definitely be compatible on the Xbox Series X. That to me, that just doesn't even make any sense. But yeah, man, I don't know. Let's overall see what happens in the near future. Hopefully that's just something that they do plan on working on and stuff, but who knows, man. But anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and peace.